What is the fastest and the easiest way to lose weight? Eating less food. This podcast, this episode, it's all about food, nutrition, and gut health. And I guess my story and my history, my experience with food. So when I first started my fitness journey, I was 14, 13, 14 years old, and Easter was coming up, and everyone was getting chocolates. Everyone was, planning on getting chocolates. And I said to my mum, I said, hey, instead of getting chocolate, could I get some dumbbells? Could I get some weights? I want to start, working out and looking better. Now, that was probably one of the key moments, if not the most key moment of my entire fitness journey, is when I had the courage to actually speak up and say, hey, look, I'm actually, I didn't say this consciously. I wasn't thinking it like this, but this was what was really going on. It's like, hey, I'm actually really not liking how I look. I want to change. Now, for you, if you're listening to this and your goal is to lose weight, I think that first step is to admit, hey, I actually don't really like how I look. I actually don't like this fat that's on my body. And that's beautiful. That's amazing to that's how art is created, Michelangelo looked at a stone of marble and he said, I want to chip away the fat. I want to chip it away at everything that's not that beautiful statue. So to admit to yourself, hey, you know what? I can lose a bit of weight. So that's great. That first step to admit, fuck, okay, I can lose some weight. So if you're really honest with yourself and you do want to lose weight, the first step is to be aware of the food that you're eating. Now, a lot of people are not aware of the food that they're eating. Um, one of the best things that you can do in regards to food and nutrition is to keep a food diary and to just be aware of the foods that you're eating. When I first started doing this, it kind of blew my mind because I was tracking the calories and everything that I was eating and becoming aware of, oh my God, there's actually, I didn't think that I was eating a lot, but I'm actually eating um, lots of calories. And by keeping a food journal as well, you're paying attention to how your stomach is feeling, how your energy is feeling. So these are two key things that are going to have a carryover effect into all of the other areas of your life and all of your eating habits. So eating, drinking water, movement and exercise, getting sunlight, getting sleep, stress management, planning, tracking, and reflecting, the 9 principles that I use for health and losing weight, the 9 key things that you need to lose weight. If you're not eating the right foods and the right amount of foods, so think of that for food, think how much am I eating and what's the quality of the food that I'm eating. In an ideal world, if you want to lose weight, you're about 500 calories less than what your body needs. So that instead of, because what happens, you eat lots of food, and if you have too much food, too many calories, so a calorie is a way to measure the food. So calorie, just think, if I say calorie, think food and think energy. When your body eats food, it converts the food into energy, and we call those calories. Now, you can also burn calories throughout the day just by sitting there and doing nothing. That's what we call burning calories. When you're eating calories, you're eating food. When you're burning calories, you're burning food, and we just call calories fuel, food, energy. That's how that works. So if you eat too much food, the extra food is stored on your body as fat. Now, if you don't eat enough food, your body goes, oh, I need some extra energy. Where is that energy going to come from? It comes from the fat on your body. Now, little caveat, little something to note. If you restrict yourself too much, then your body then takes away energy. Your body needs so much energy that it like imagine if you stop paying your phone bill, then yes, you are saving money, but um, after a while, they send the debt collectors onto you, and then you have all of these debt collector fees, and you have extra fees. So by not paying your phone bill for too long, you're actually causing way more stress than if you just maybe found another phone plan and just paid a little bit less. So sometimes when we go to too extreme, if we cut back our calories too much, then it fucks with our body's systems and processes that it needs in order to maintain the systems that it needs. So things like heart rate, things like stress management and hormones, things like getting rid of toxins, things like delivering all the nutrients and chemicals and hormones that your brain and muscles and your entire body needs. So you're if you don't eat enough calories, the factory of your body, the efficiency just plummets. So it's like if you had a really imagine this. Imagine you're a mum with kids. If you just didn't eat for an entire day, you won't have enough energy and brain function to manage and look after all the kids. So think of that. Like, obviously, that's an extreme, but we want to be just under so that your body's function, because your body actually needs energy in order to burn the fat. So if we restrict our calories, restrict our food too much, then our body's actually not going to be able to burn the fat. It's going to be living off stress hormones, and it's going to be in like extreme survival mode and just store all the fat. Okay, so we want to eat a little less food than our body needs, and then that way, when we eat a bit less, the energy comes from the fat on our body. So, what I was saying with food and how food has a flow on effect to the other areas, I find for me personally, if I'm eating lots of food, if I have too much food just before dinner, I go to bed and I'll kind of stay up late because my food's digesting, and then I feel like I need to sleep for much longer. Because if you eat too much food before bed, instead of your body focusing on regenerating all of the hormones that you and balancing your emotions in your brain and doing a full body restart and shut down in your entire body, like your body's meant to be restarting and shutting down and resetting and filtering things and completely resting. And if you have food in your stomach, then your body is going to be focusing on that. Okay, so there we go. Food is going to affect your sleep. Now, if you don't sleep properly, then you're going to be more tired, and you're going to feel more, and you're going to feel uh, like you want more energy, that you want more food. So by eating the wrong food, fucks your sleep up, and then if your sleep is fucked, it makes you more hungry. So then the more hungry you are, the more food you eat, the more food you eat, the more your sleep is fucked, the more your sleep is fucked, the more food you eat. And now we'll go round in a circle. So your gaining weight is a massive uh, cycle. Now, in order to break the cycle, we need to find out, okay, what's the biggest fuck up? what's the area in our life? So eat, drink, move, sun, sleep, stress, plan, track, reflect. Okay, look at all those different areas. What's the worst thing that's holding me back the most? And then what's one simple thing that I can do to change that in order to have the biggest effect? So that's what I do in my Unstoppable Body program, is get in there and find out, okay, well, how you're doing in all of these different areas, and then what's one thing we can do to make a massive impact. And because it really should be easy and should be effortless and almost feel like, okay, why is this so easy? That's how, when you do it properly, that's how it feels. It just takes some thinking and planning. So let's see what else. If you're eating too much food, then you're getting more full from food rather than because when we drink water, it fills up our stomach. The receptors in our stomach, there is an overlap between food and water. So if we drink water, we might feel hungry, but then it's actually just that we're thirsty. So you drink some water and now you're not hungry anymore. So if you eat too much food, you stop drinking enough water because you're full on food rather than water, and then you're not filtering and flowing enough water through your body in order to pump out all the toxins. And then the more dehydrated you get, the more tired you feel, and the more you're going to want to go for food for energy. Now, that's a big thing that I want to kind of drill into you for this episode, this podcast, is yes, food, the purpose of food is for fuel and for energy and for nutrients, but that's not the only source of energy. Food is not your only source of energy. If we get a good sleep, having a good sleep is much more impactful and more and better for you, like, than not eating. You can not eat for 7 days. I've done it. For me personally, I've done 4 days of no food. If I went 4 days with no sleep, I'd be fucked. Be really fucked. So sleep, you actually get the most amount of energy from sleep. Then you get the second most amount of energy from drinking water. Then you get the third most energy from movement. Then you get the fifth most energy from sunlight. And because the sunlight that you get helps you to have better sleep. So sun and sleep are linked together. So if you watch the sunrise or sunset, you get a better sleep. You wake up with way more energy. Then you have some water and you flush out of the toxins and you deliver, like, all of the cells in your body are surrounded by water. So now you're flowing all of the energy system, and your entire body is like one big electrical circuit. And if you're not drinking enough water, the electricity, the current isn't able to flow, and the energy isn't able to flow through your body. So then, after sun, getting energy from the sun, you actually get more energy from having inspiring goals and things that you want to do. Have you ever been so inspired and been so locked in and so present into a conversation that you really love that you've forgotten to eat food? If you're really loving your work, you forget about your lunch break. If you're hating your work, you can't wait until your lunch break and you're thinking of food, right? So then I would say tracking and reflecting, you can get a bit of energy, but I would say after your goal setting and having a clear plan, then you get the most amount of energy from your food. Now, this might be very different for someone who absolutely loves fucking food. And you might have children and kids that also love food, and you might have a husband that loves food. So you actually can fulfill your highest goals, and your purpose is most fulfilled through food. So this is a trap. We think, well, if a little bit of food is good, then a lot must be better. So you love your family, you love cooking food for your family, you love connecting with your friends over food, and it's a bit of a trap because you're like, okay, well, I feel the best when I'm cooking lots of food and having food with my family. But you actually experiment with yourself and have smaller portion sizes when you're eating with other people. And you'll find and look for your energy through better sleep, through drinking water, through movement, through having clear goals, through watching the sunrise and sunset to help with that sleep. And I guarantee you realize, fuck, I actually don't need a lot of food. Same thing with pleasure. We get a lot, food is such an easy way for us to get pleasure and fulfillment and to be comfortable. And when we eat food, it calms down our emotions. So we get pleasure and dopamine, and we feel really good when we eat food, and it calms down the voices in the back of our head and our emotions. So there is a uh, such a awareness and benefits to your life if you can just sit in silence and just and listen to those thoughts that are coming up in your mind. So that is all about food. I guess some tips to eat less food, eat less calories, right? So things like vegetables, so lots of salad, fruit, vegetables. They're full of fiber. Fiber makes your gut feel full. So fiber is like there's giving fiber is like fertilizer for your stomach. So fertilizer for the garden that makes the plants grow better. Fiber is like that for the inside of your stomach. It's just adding different nutrients, and it's helping all of the other nutrients that you eat. So like protein, it's helping them get absorbed, and vitamins and minerals. It's helping all of your vitamins, minerals, proteins, fats. It's helping all of that inside your stomach get absorbed. And then it's also, there's two different types of fiber. Insoluble fiber just means that it's not going to be digested and it moves through your body. So that type of fiber is like a brush and a broom, and it sweeps and cleans the inside of your stomach so that when you go and do a poo, all of the toxins come out with it. So fiber is massive. You have different, you have protein, you have carbs, you have fat. Protein, you want about a fist size 3 times a day. So meat, fish, veg, um, meat and fish. The generally with all of these foods, the less processed, the better for you. And also, if you can have a variety of foods, is also great for you as well. So with carbohydrates, you want to have about a handful or a palm size of carbohydrates, especially if you're training and you're working out. Nothing wrong with rice. I love rice, oats, pasta, things like that. You can be aware of gluten. If you're having gluten, it can mess with your stomach. That's why food diary is also great for you. And then fat, you only want about a thumb size of fat. So like olive oil is really good for you. Avocado, obviously you can have like half an avocado. Nuts, seeds, butter. Butter is good for you. Um, so things like that. And then so you want a balance. Like if you only have a protein meal, then you're going to start be craving carbohydrates. If you only have a carbohydrate meal, you're going to be really hungry and you're going to be craving protein. So think of protein, carbs, and fats as like you're going outside and you have a clothes outfit on. So you wouldn't leave the house unless you're me in just your shorts with no shoes and no shirt. I mean, I do that all the time in summer, but not everyone's going to do that, especially if you're a woman. So think of leaving the house with shoes, which is fat, a little bit of shoes, then shorts, which is your protein, and then your shirt, which is carbs. So you want an even balance of protein, carbs, and fats with every meal. I would suggest eating 3 times a day. Some people eat 1 time a day. Some people eat 10 times a day. It's whatever works best in your lifestyle. Your lifestyle and who you are is the most important thing when looking at your food. So, um, I guess some summary takeaways is eat a balance of protein, carbs, and fats. Keep a food diary and keep track of all the foods that you're eating. Eat a little bit less than what you need. Not too, if you eat way less, then it can fuck your body up and your body stops burning energy and running properly. And then if you actually eat too little, your body's not able to burn the fat. Your body needs energy to burn fat. So remember that. And food is not only just for energy, food is seventh on the list. So sleep gives you more energy. Drinking water gives you more energy. Uh, movement gives you more energy. Getting in the sunlight helps with your energy, and then that helps with the getting better sleep. And then having clear goals, inspiring goals, things, priorities that you can do, they give you more energy. And then seventh on the fucking list is food. So stop relying on food. And if you're a mum and you love getting your connection and you love getting your energy and fulfillment from cooking family meals, try eating a little bit less food so you can have the normal food with your family. Just have like half of what you normally have, and then add like a big salad and have, lettuce, cucumber, onion, like a salad like that, and really fill yourself up. Because like big leafy greens, they have hardly any calories, and then you eat them and it fills your stomach up. So it's like tricking your brain to thinking that you are full. So there you go. That is food, nutrition, and gut health, the first of the 9 steps. Stay tuned for the next episode where we're going to talk about drinking water and how drinking water can help us to lose weight. So let me know your questions, comments, and feedback, and I'll see you next time.